I would say that people usually think that I would come from like a subdivision family who are wealthy and everything's handed down, and
probably, and this sounds bad, but that like you're really ghetto. And I'm like, what? I grew up in the suburbs. Like, how am I ghetto? If you hear my voice, I'm clearly not. But that's just like one of the main things. Like people see black or hear the word, oh, it's a black girl. They're like, oh, watch out, hide your kids.
Probably that I'm super innocent and shy.
Most people assume I'm a total blonde, which basically means that they think I know nothing. And they tell tons of blonde jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah. Someone once told me that I look really rude and I would look like I would just yell at them off first glance.
Actually, I've had a few experiences where my dad actually owns a clothing store. So I have some pretty nice clothes just kind of because it's what he does. And I actually had a girl judge me based on what I wore. She thought I was kind of rich and stuck up because I had a nice pair of jeans on. And she later told me as I got to know her better that she had judged me when she first saw me. And I guess that was kind of the first time I realized that people actually cared about what I wore and like thought about me differently because of that. So it's a bit weird.
I get people call me a hipster a lot, and I don't appreciate that. I really don't, because I don't consider myself a hipster and I don't like being called one. Not that that's a bad thing, but I just don't like that assumption. People also assume that I'm Hispanic, which is also kind of funny. Yeah, I've never really understood the Hispanic thing. I mean, I have dark skin and curly hair, but that's about it.
They assume that I'm ditzy and dumb because I'm blonde.
Most people assume that I'm just like rulesy and, you know, I never do anything fun and I'm like a nun.
A lot of times when people first meet me and they see my crazy hair, they think that I'll be a crazy outgoing girl.
Well, some people think I'm weird because usually I'm doing something crazy when people first meet me.
I am nice, I'm positive, I'm very happy. Whenever they see me, people always see me with a smile on my face.
The first thing, my age. They usually think I'm like in high school still.
Just by looking at me, I think people stereotype me as a blonde, peppy cheerleader girl.
They assume that because I wear glasses, I'm smart. That doesn't mean that I have a really big brain. It means that my eyes are terrible, is what that actually means.
That I'm very bougie, or would say stuck up, and that I'm high maintenance.
I don't always have a smile on my face, so they could think that I'm rude or something. And if they hear me talk, I'm a Yankee, obviously. So they're like, oh, she's from the north, she's rude or whatever.
When people first look at me, I think they assume that I'm American, even though I'm not, and I'm Jamaican.
I guess the typical, like, because I'm a white middle-class girl, they think, you know, oh, she's a snob or like she's rich.
That I can play basketball and that I can fight. I'm just a mean mugger that people just, I'm just a bully, I guess.
Just by looking at me, people normally assume that I'm like a snob because I'm pretty shy, so I don't necessarily put myself out there. So people just think that I'm like trying to be rude, but I'm not.
A lot of stuff people assume about me is I'm super ghetto, or like I don't know who my daddy is, or my parents are on welfare or something.
I think people assume that I might not be easygoing or fun. I usually walk around with a pretty like stern look on my face, but I'm just thinking.
They probably think I'm a little ditzy, and they assume that I am African American.
When someone first meets me and they stereotype me, they probably stereotype me as a goofball because I'm really funny when people first meet me, I guess.
They usually think I'm really quiet or really serious, or that I have it all together.
They would know that I came from a very diverse background, and I think they'd be more apt to talk to me and open up to me just about like things that have happened to their life, and realize that I can relate to them as soon as they get past the part of like the stereotype that they project on me.
That I mean, I make jokes about like being the only black girl around here and stuff, but that like doesn't really matter to me. Like, color is just a thing on the outside, you know? Like, it's just something. They know that I like white people stuff, whatever that is. Yeah. I don't know. You know, I'm just me.
That I can be pretty obnoxious, even though I don't talk and stuff like that in class that much. I'm actually a pretty loud and obnoxious person if I get to know the people around me.
If people really get to know me, they know that I'm naturally hyper and that I'm slightly crazy and that I'm not really any stereotype that most people think I am.
Okay, if someone was to know me, they would know that I really like to talk to people and I love to hear people's stories, like their life stories, and so when they think that I'm the opposite of that, it really offends me kind of. So they would know that I'm really open to them and I would love to hear their story. They just don't want to talk to me because they're judging me first.
They would know that I'm pretty chill and down to earth and that I'm just an easygoing person.
They would know that I'm not always really serious, that I'm also like a really goofy person, but that I do take things seriously. So sometimes people think that like, I don't know, like either people think I'm a really goofy person or they think I'm a very serious person. Whereas I don't see myself as either one. I see myself as a happy medium, and a lot of people don't actually see like the middle ground.
If people really knew me, they would know that I really like hanging out with little kids, and that's what I want to do.
Man, I'm a nice person. I'm cool. I'm fun to be around, I reckon. That's what I'm doing anyways. Pretty silly. Let's see. I like to make jokes and laugh. I sing a lot at the random. I make up stuff. So, I'm cool.
I am very outgoing. I'm very dedicated with what I love to do. Singing, basically. I love video games. No one knows about that about me. I love to karaoke whenever I get the chance. And I just love to have fun with my friends and family. But my main concern is more of my family than my friends.
They would know that I'm actually like, I'm a very humble person and I'm really down to earth.
When people really get to know me, I think they learn that I'm, yes, peppy and outgoing, but I'm also very quirky and I love to have fun and I love to laugh and make friends with everyone.
If they really knew me, they would know that I'm just a fun-loving person who's really sarcastic.
Actually, I'm very easy to talk to and I like to hang out with people. But, I mean, it seems like I have a mean exterior, but I really don't. And high maintenance, I mean, I'm used to a good lifestyle, but I wouldn't say I'm over the top. Like, that's not me at all.
If they knew me, they'd know I'm pretty much go with the flow. I mean, I'll get along with anybody.
They know that I lived in a whole lot of different places. They'd know that I speak 4 languages.
They would know that it doesn't matter, like, to me whether you have money or if they're popular or not. Like, I just like hanging out with people based on personality and stuff. Like, material things really don't matter to me at all.
They would know that I'm Hispanic, but not Mexican. Thank you. They'd know that I like to sing. People don't really know that. And that I don't like to read. And probably that I'm the only one in my family to actually make it to college, because they just assume that everyone goes.
They would know that I'm like really chill about stuff. I just don't necessarily make the first move in conversation because I am shy.
A lot of things that people don't know is I like to read. Like, I like to read a lot. I'm really smart. I do know my dad. I see him every time I go home. And we're not on welfare. My parents are engineers.
That I'm not any of those things.
That I'm actually quite quiet because I always get nervous a lot and I hate fighting. I think it's the stupidest thing in the world to do.
If they were to really get to know me, they'd find out that I really am a goofball and I'm really smart and funny and just, you know, sarcastic. So their stereotypical ways are correct.
If people really knew me, they would know that I'm actually not a stick in the mud. I like to have fun and I do know about things in the world. I don't just live on a rock.
Something people would know about me is that I am adopted.
If people really knew me, they would know I'm not perfect. I kind of have a first appearance of being really polite and kind of have my stuff together. But as people get to know me, they know that I have a lot of things that, you know, worry me and freak me out, and I have a lot of weaknesses. And I think that kind of is fun. You know, you get to know someone better, you know that they're just like you and they have their faults.